A generation of the sons of God is rising up all over the planet. It's a generation that isn't afraid to dream with the Father for revival to break out in the darkest places on the planet. In 2007, I first encountered human trafficking. I was in Bangkok and I saw for myself the sexual exploitation of men, women and children. The extent of the issue of human trafficking was so great that I felt completely insignificant. But the Lord showed me a vision, and in this vision I saw a wave of revivalists coming to Thailand from the nations and bringing down the giants of darkness.
Thailand is known around the world for the sex trade, and prostitution is actually illegal in Thailand. You wouldn't believe it walking down the streets. Estimated, I mean, it's hard to know the numbers to be real, but probably around 1 million women in prostitution. And I did the numbers in 2013 that there were about 23.7 million tourists that came to Thailand in 2013. It's estimated that 7 out of 10 foreign men who come here will participate in the sex trade. So for 2013, doing the math, I figured out that meant that 8 million foreign men came to Thailand and participated in the sex trade.
Wow.
And that's 20% of the demand side.
Wow.
So the numbers are huge when you're talking about the sex trade in Thailand.
What happens to your heart? Like, I know what happens for me sometimes when I experience pain or trauma, but I want to try and get an idea from you, like, on that night, what happened with your heart? Like, where did your heart go? What did your heart start to feel? And what did that end up doing to you as an individual?
Inside of me is broken and so painful and hurt because you didn't say yes to go with them, but they just took you, they just grabbed you and took you in the van and just end up in the hotel. And it's not only one man, but end up with 7 of them. They're having fun, they're laughing, they're talking, they're watching each other. But for me, my heart is broken because it's so hurt, it's so painful. Like, why you're not respectful to the woman? Why you're not honoring to the woman? Why you see one life like something else, like just like the animal or whatever that you can't do anything to.
So one girl we met, she was 18. She had a baby in Uzbekistan. She left the baby. Some lady came to her house, said, okay, I'll take care of your baby. You can go to Thailand. You have a good job. Maybe, you dance in a bar. Sometimes you have to make out. Sometimes you have to be close with the customer. So she understood that she probably has to sleep with them once in a while. She got here. They locked her up in the Grace. Then she was allowed 4 hours of sleep. In the room, there's 5 beds. And so there's rotation of customers coming through all the time. A lot of the customers are Thai guys, Asian, Korean, Japanese men. So they have this partition with the beds. And so even if she's there during the day trying to sleep, there's people in all the time. So basically, they were all sleep deprived 4 hours a day. That's it. She had no passport. The passport was taken away, so she couldn't go to the police. The Uzbeki embassy here is, in a lot of cases, assisting the traffickers. So basically, the girl had nowhere to go. She was told, if the police find you, they'll arrest you, stay in jail for the rest of your life. So what happened to that girl was that she came in and the mama-san stood in the room the first 5 times that she was having sex with different customers. And so she couldn't escape. And so the mama-san had to sit there and watch her have sex the first several times. Then she said that there's times where customers will come in and they'll say it's a one guy, but then 5 guys will come. Then their customers were very physically abusive, so she got beaten daily, basically. And so a few times she tried to tell the clients that she needs help. And one of the clients told the mama-san, and so the mama-san restricted her movement even more. So basically they're in the lobby all night waiting for customers. They go up, have sex, come back down. So
Thailand does not enforce the laws, particularly when it comes to prostitution. Now, if it's minors in prostitution, they're more likely to crack down, given a tip-off, although it's very hard for it to be enforced. But in terms of adult women in prostitution, it is not enforced. However, the streetwalkers will be targeted regularly by the police because the police get bribes from them. So the police will nab the streetwalkers at different times of the month, take them down to the police station where they'll have to pay off the bribes so that they can be released again.
So what has happened now is that the kids are somewhere up in hotel rooms or in houses around Pattaya, and you get a motorcycle guide to take you there. So pedophiles usually come because they find out online. There are, on the dark net, you can go in, you can find child pornography easy, free, and there's forums. And so some of these closed websites, you have to have enough child pornography material on your computer to get access. So that's why the police have a hard time getting in and finding information. You have to have a certain amount of videos, pictures, and knowledge to be able to gain access. And once you become a member, then more you have, more you can share with the other groups, more access you get and higher status you get. So on these websites, you can find forums where you can find pedophile tourist travel. So the pedophiles are usually separated in categories, some like babies, some like young girls, young boys. It's usually prepubescent or,
How young? What is
you have babies, you have websites with babies. There's infants, for sure. So I'm not saying that's the most common. The most common type of pedophile in Pattaya is people who like boys, prepubescent boys, and then around between 10 and 15 years old boys. That's the biggest group. The next one is girls. There are some who prefer both. They don't mind, whatever. So once they find out, so basically in these forums you can see, okay, there's a guy with a red balloon on the street, go there and ask, where can I get one of these? He'll have a child. So you go there, say, hey, where can I get one of these? And then he'll take you to a motorcycle guy who takes you to the house. In Pattaya, that's very common. These kids were sold by the stepfather. The girl was 14, she was burned completely. Her body here was burned. The little boy had a cigarette.
By?
We don't know. Okay. I don't know. So the father was selling her cheaper because she was burned and he didn't want her at all. And so this little boy had a cigarette burn. This little boy, we investigated for about five days, and during that time his nose was broken 3 times. And so this is what you usually see, kids sitting around like that. That's what you're gonna see. They have a purse, the money's in the purse. Many of them have cell phones that are wrapped in plastic so they can't make any calls, but they can receive calls.
Most of the Thai women that we work with are women who are in prostitution here. Now, if I say voluntary, that doesn't mean that their hearts are in it, but voluntary meaning that nobody kidnapped them. Kidnapping is not the norm for trafficking. And people believe that sometimes because of the way the media portrays it, but that is not the norm. It may happen, probably less than 5% is actually kidnapping. Anything that you've heard is a reality, most likely, but maybe not the majority, not the horrific norm of the majority. The horrific norm of the majority are like the Thai women who live in a rural area northeast of Thailand. They come from poor families, agricultural families. Most of the women today, they might make it to 9th grade education, but then the families don't see that it's worth continuing to put the girls through school because they need them to work in the fields, and they don't have the money for the books and the supplies and the uniforms to keep the girls in school. So the boys will continue to school, but the girls will be expected to drop out when they reach about 15, 16. So at a young age, then they get boyfriends, they start getting pregnant, then they might be put in a marriage with the guy that got them pregnant. The guys are irresponsible. I hate to generalize, but many Thai men do not grow up, and they do not take responsibility for their families. It's not expected of them, to be honest. In the rural areas, the expectation is all on the girl. The obligation of responsibility is on the daughter. And the boys are kind of given a get out of jail free card, so to say, to sow their wild oats. The boy's obligation to the family is to become a monk for a period of time. In becoming a monk for a period of time, he makes merit for his parents for their next life, so they can have the next reincarnation could be in heaven. And so that, for Thai society, for Buddhists, that's a very high status. And so the guys do that and they have it made in the eyes of the family. They're let off the hook from other responsibility. The daughter, in this Buddhism, you're taught that if you are born a girl in this life, it's because you didn't do enough good in your past life to become a man in this life. So the girls, the value that she has to a family is that she is the one who is expected to take care of her parents as they age. And they look back. They don't look forward. You know, in the West, we think about how do we empower the next generation to move forward. It's about, you know, parents pouring into their kids so their kids have a better life and a future. In the Isan culture, it's all about looking back, taking care of the parents and the grandparents. And children and grandchildren are expected to sacrifice their future in order to take care of the ones who are behind. And so you can see why there are so many problems in that part of the country of moving forward. But the girls are expected to take care of the parents. So here she is, young, maybe 18, 19, 20, early 20s, already has a couple kids. The guy, who is a playboy, is out drinking with his buddies, comes home, domestic abuse, violence starts, the arguments, the relationship breaks up, the guy splits, goes, gets another girl, or goes off with his buddies, and he doesn't take care of her. He doesn't send money back. Very often he doesn't even contact the children. Many of the children that we've had in our care here have never heard from their fathers. The fathers move on. And as the parents get new relationships, stepmothers, stepfathers, the kids are abused, or they get dropped off with aunts, uncles, grandparents, both sides of the family, scattered across, no good bonding for these kids. So the young woman then takes her kids, moves back home with the grandparents. But this is a shame-based culture and an honor culture. When she moves back home, now see, her job is to take care of her parents. Here she's moving back home with burden, placing a burden on her parents. That brings shame to her parents for the community, in front of the community. There she's not showing honor to her parents, but she's bringing a burden to them. She feels that shame deeply because she knows that she's supposed to be taking care of them and she can't. And it grieves her to the depths of her soul. One of her friends, neighbors, has gone to Bangkok and she's sending money home. And that house now has cement walls, painted in bright colors. They're buying a truck. They're hiring workers for their field. Their family looks much better. And it can go one of two ways. The parents might start pressuring the daughter. Why don't you go to Bangkok? Look at your friend. Look how your friend honors her parents. Look at what she's doing for them. They look good in everybody's eyes. Look at us. What are you doing for us? You're not honoring us. You're not taking care of us. Why don't you go to Bangkok and make that money? Or, if their parents are better than that, then it might be that the friend says, look, I know you're really struggling and you don't have any money and you can't take care of your parents. Why don't you come work with me in Bangkok?
For me, I think I love to dream beyond. Not just dream because what we see today, where we are now, but dream about future, dream together with God, dare to dream because of you already, give the word of God to us about dream like a son, dream together with Father. And for me, I when I close my eye, what the big project, what the big dream, and when I close my eye, I can see many things. we would like to have a orphan center because there are many kids in Isan that the parents leave them behind. They stay with the oldest grandmother, grandfather, with their own men, and the parents leave them, and many children like this age they are trafficking, and human trafficking, and then how we can provide a safe house. If Jump just only dream alone, we can dream just this size. But if I impart this dream together with other family, it means other pastor and leader, different church. If he has an idea, hey, we can have the solution. You want to do this, we want to be a part together with you and support his dream. Many villages not yet know God. 25 million not yet know God. Every village need to have a church. Before I think about Isan, but now the end of the year.
Like I got my life is transformed by God, and I got redemption by His true love. Which means He is real. If not His true love, I don't think all the love can rescue me. Because of His love that came to me that night. That's why I have today who I am today, the daughter of God.
The future belongs to those who dare to dream. And love outdreams the darkness. And I'm dreaming that as people hear these words, as people see this footage and hear the testimonies, that they'll become inspired with a sense of significance. And I'm believing that as you hear this, you'll be convinced for yourself that you can have a significant impact on bringing down the giants of darkness in the nations.